A very warm welcome, Dharma friends. Thank you for being with us this morning to celebrate the Buddha's passing, Parinirvana Day service. Our service will be officiated by the Venerable Haju Sunim, our senior priest, who has been with the Buddhist Society for Compassionate Wisdom for about 50 years. So please join in and take this special moment to be together and to celebrate.
Please join in with the chanting of the three refuges in Sino-Korean in keeping with our tradition. Our founder, Venerable Swami Sunam, came from the mountain monastery society. First, we'll do in Sino-Korean. Then we're going to do in Pali, which is the original language of the refuges where it first began. And then in English. A beautiful version that one of our Dharma teachers wrote. Buddham saranam gacchami. Buddham saranam saranam gacchami.
Dhammam saranam gacchami.
Sangham saranam gacchami.
Sangham saranam gacchami.
And Chagwa, our Dharma teacher, will sing the invocation.
I put my trust in the Buddha, and I resolve that with all beings I will realize the great way, and I will cultivate a garden where the Buddha seed may forever thrive. And I will grow a heart of enlightenment. I put my trust in the Dharma, and I resolve that with all beings I will penetrate Sutra treasures. And I will pass through Dharma gates beyond all measure, uncovering wisdom as vast as the ocean. I put my trust in the Sangha, my brothers and sisters in times of need, and I resolve that nothing will impede our gentle walk through a world that's free, liberated society. I put my trust in these jewels three, perfect and complete life now inside of me, each moment. And I resolve that with all beings I will dedicate each moment to their realization in this lifetime. Buddha, Dharma, Sangha, in this lifetime.
Please be seated. Testing. No movement of the breath, but with steadfast heart, free from desires and tranquil, so the sage comes to his end. By mortal pangs unshaken, his mind like a flame extinguished, finds release. And with that, we will experience the mournful chant, often like the kind of sound that was present among the disciples and lay people as the Buddha died. So those in this first row have been doing some practicing of this mournful chant. And it is the sounds ah, e, u, a, o. And so the mournful chanting choir will go one time through, and then we'll go one more time for those of you who would like to join in with it. So, Mom, why don't you go ahead and please start. Please join if you like to. Feeling from your heart a sense of mourning that your great teacher has passed, that here is with us today. Recitation of key doctrines. Please listen deeply to these key doctrines, to the Dharma. And later on, each of us will have a chance to honor the Buddha in appreciation for the Dharma that we have felt very close to and hope for. So I'm going to take the microphone. Please compose yourself and bring your hands together and allow yourself to listen deeply, to receive the sounds in your whole body, the vowels, the consonants, the spirit.
The three jewels, the way of Buddha, the way of Dharma, the way of Sangha.
Eight precepts. I resolve to abstain from doing harm, but to cherish all life. I resolve to abstain from taking what is not given, but to respect the things of others. I resolve to abstain from engaging in sexual misconduct, but to practice purity of mind and self-restraint. I resolve to abstain from lying, but to speak the truth. I resolve to abstain from partaking in the production and trading of firearms and chemical poisons or of drugs and liquors that confuse or weaken the mind. I resolve to abstain from wasting, but to conserve energy and natural resources. I resolve to abstain from harboring enmity against the wrongs of others, but to promote peace and justice through nonviolent means. I resolve to abstain from clinging to things that belong to me, but to practice generosity and the joy of sharing.
Four Noble Truths. The truth of suffering. The truth of the cause of suffering. The truth of the cessation of suffering. The truth of the way leading to the cessation of suffering.
Five fetters: belief in a permanent self, skeptical doubt, obsession with rules and rituals, sensuous craving, hatred.
The Eightfold Noble Path. Right view, right intention, right speech, right conduct, right livelihood, right effort, right mindfulness, right concentration.
The three marks of being: the mark of impermanence, the mark of non-self, the mark of happiness.
The threefold training: cultivation of moral discipline, cultivation of meditation and concentration, cultivation of wisdom heart.
Six paramitas. Dana paramita. May I be generous and helpful. Shila paramita. May I be pure and virtuous. Kshanti paramita. May I be patient. May I be able to bear and forbear the wrongs of others. Virya paramita. May I be strenuous, energetic, and persevering. Jnana paramita. May I practice meditation and attain concentration and oneness to serve all beings. Prajna paramita. May I gain wisdom and be able to give the benefit of that wisdom to others.
The four Brahma Viharas, the way of loving kindness, of friendship, the way of compassion, the way of sympathetic joy, the way of equanimity.
From the Parinirvana Sutra. And when the Lord had stayed at Mudika as long as he wished, he went with a large company of monks to Vasavi, where he stayed at Ambapali's grove. And there the Lord addressed the monks. Monks, a monk should be mindful and clearly aware. This is our charge to you. And how is a monk mindful? Here, a monk abides contemplating the body as body, earnestly, clearly aware, mindful, and having put away all hankering and fretting for the world, and likewise with regard to feelings, mind, and mind objects. That is how a monk is mindful. And how is a monk clearly aware? Here, a monk, when going forward or backward, is aware of what he is doing. In looking forward or back, he is aware of what he is doing. In bending and stretching, he is aware of what he is doing. In carrying his inner and outer robe and bowl, he is aware of what he is doing. In eating, drinking, chewing, and savoring, he is aware of what he is doing. In passing excrement or urine, he is aware of what he is doing. in walking, standing, sitting, or lying down, in keeping awake, in speaking, or in staying silent. He is aware of what he is doing. That is how a monk is clearly aware. A monk should be mindful and clearly aware. This is our charge to you.
So now we will read the chapter into that Hans version of the life of Buddha, Old Path, White Clouds. And this chapter about his death is called, well, when he was with his disciples and all the lay people, they were asking him for guidance. And basically, he said, be diligent. And so you'll see, we're going to read aloud a few pages of the actual story. And I'll start with the first and then pass down this way and then go across, each person reading a paragraph. And don't worry if you come across some long, difficult words, just sound them out. So, be diligent. It was dark by the time the Buddha and the bhikkhunis and bhikkhus reached the forest of cell trees. The Buddha asked Ananda to prepare a place between two cell trees for him to lie down. The Buddha lay on his side, his head facing north. All the bhikkhus sat around him. They knew that the Buddha would pass into nirvana that same night. The Buddha looked up at the trees and said, Ananda, look, it is not yet spring, but the sal trees are covered with red blossoms. Do you see the petals falling on the Tathagata's robes and the robes of all the bhikkhus? This forest is truly beautiful. Do you see the western horizon all aglow from the setting sun? Do you hear the gentle breeze rustling in the sal branches? The Tathagata finds all these things lovely and touching. Bhikkhus, if you want to please me, if you want to express your respect and gratitude to the Tathagata, there is only one way, and that is by living the teaching.
The evening was warm, and Venerable Upavana stood over the Buddha to fan him, but the Buddha asked him not to. Perhaps the Buddha did not want his splendid view of the setting sun obstructed. The Buddha asked Venerable Anuruddha, I do not see Ananda, where is he? Another bhikkhu spoke up, I saw Brother Ananda standing behind some trees weeping. He was saying to himself, I have not yet attained my spiritual goal, and now my teacher is dying. Who has ever cared more deeply for me than my teacher?
The Buddha asked the bhikkhus to summon Ananda. The Buddha tried to comfort Ananda. He said, don't be so sad, Ananda. The Tathagata has often reminded you that all dharmas are impermanent. With birth, there is death. With arising, there is dissolving. With coming together, there is separation. How can there be birth without death? How can there be a rising without dissolving? How can there be coming together without separation? Ananda, you have cared for me with all your heart for many years. You have devoted all your efforts to helping me, and I am most grateful to you. Your merit is great, Ananda, but you can go even farther. If you make just a little more effort, you can overcome birth and death. You can attain freedom and transcend every sorrow. I know you can do that. And this is what would make me the most happy.
Turning to the other bhikkhus, the Buddha said, "No one has been as good an attendant as Ananda. Other attendants in the past sometimes dropped my robe or bowl to the ground, but never Ananda. He has taken care of all my needs, from the tiniest detail to the largest tasks. Ananda always knew when and where a bhikkhu, bhikkhuni, lay disciple, king, official, or practitioner from a different religious sect should meet with me. He arranged all meetings most effectively and intelligently. The Tathagata believes that no enlightened master in the past or future could have an attendant more talented and devoted than Ananda."
Venerable Ananda wiped his tears and said, "Lord, please don't pass away here. Kusinara is just a small town of mud dwellings. There are so many more worthy places like Sapa, Rajagaha, Savatthi, Sakata, Kosambi, or Varanasi. Please, Lord, select such a place to pass away so that more people will have a chance to see your face one last time."
The Buddha replied, "Ananda, Kusinara is also important, even if it is no more than a small town of mud dwellings. The Tathagata finds that this forest most agreeable. Ananda, do you see the salt flowers falling about me?" The Buddha asked Ananda to go into Kusinara and announce to the Mallas that the Buddha would pass into Nirvana in the grove of salt trees at the night's last watch. When the Malla people heard this news, they hastily made their way to the forest. An ascetic named Subhada was among them. While the people took turns bowing to the Buddha, Subhada asked Venerable Ananda if he could have an audience with the Buddha. Ananda refused, saying the Buddha was too tired to receive anyone. But the Buddha overheard their conversation and said, "Ananda, let ascetic Subhada speak with me. The Tathagata will receive him."
The ascetic Subhada knelt before the Buddha. He had long felt drawn to the Buddha's teachings, but had never met him before. He bowed and said, "Lord, I have heard about spiritual leaders such as Purana, Kassapa, Makali, Gasali, Ajita, Kasakambali, Akuda, Kachayana, Sanjaya, Balatiputi, and Niganta Nagataputi. I would like to ask if, according to you, any of them attained true enlightenment."
Buddha answered, Subhata, whether or not they attained enlightenment is not a necessary thing to discuss now. Subhata, the Tathagata will show you the path by which you yourself can attain enlightenment.
The Buddha spoke to Subhata about the Noble Eightfold Path. He concluded by saying, Subhata, wherever the Noble Eightfold Path is truly practiced, you will find people who have attained enlightenment. Subhata, if you follow this path, you too can attain enlightenment.
Ascetic Sabhata felt his heart suddenly open. He was filled with great happiness. He asked the Buddha to accept him as a teacher. The Buddha asked the Venerable Narada to perform the ordination ceremony right then and there. Sabhata was the last disciple received by the Buddha.
After Subhata's head was shaved, he received the precepts and was given a robe and bowl. The Buddha then looked at all the bhikkhus sitting around him. Many bhikkhus from the vicinity had arrived, and so there were now nearly 500. The Buddha spoke to them.
Bhikkhus, if you have any doubts or perplexity concerning the teaching, now is the time to ask the Tathagata about it. Don't let this opportunity pass by, so that later you will reproach yourselves, saying, that day I was face to face with the Buddha, but I did not ask him.
The Buddha repeated these words 3 times, but no bhikkhu spoke. Venerable Ananda exclaimed, Lord, it is truly wonderful. I have faith in the community of the bhikkhu. I have faith in the Sangha. Everyone has clearly understood your teaching. No one has any doubts or perplexity about your teaching and the path to realize it.
The Buddha said, you speak quickly. While the Tathagata has direct knowledge, the Tathagata knows that all the bhikkhus here possess deep faith in the 3 gems. Even the lowest attainment among these bhikkhus is that of stream enterer.
Buddha looked quietly over the community and then said, Bhikkhus, listen to what the Thangata now says. Dharma is impermanent. If there is birth, there is death. Be diligent in your efforts to attain liberation. The Buddha closed his eyes. He had spoken his last words. The earth shook. Sour blossoms fell like rain. Everyone felt Their minds and bodies trembled. They knew the Buddha had passed into nirvana.
The Buddha had passed away. Some bhikkhus threw up their arms and flung themselves on the ground. They wailed, "The Buddha has passed away. The Lord has died. The eyes of the world are no more. Who can we take refuge in now?"
While these bhikkhus cried and thrashed about, other bhikkhus sat silently, observing their breath and contemplating the things the Buddha had taught them. Venerable Anuruddha spoke up, "Brothers, do not cry so pitifully. The Lord Buddha taught us that with birth there is death, with arising there is dissolving, with coming together there is separation. If you understand and follow the Buddha's teaching, you will cease to make such a disturbance. Please sit up again and follow your breathing. We will maintain silence."
Everyone returned to his place and followed Venerable Anuruddha's counsel. He led them in reciting sutras they all knew by heart, which spoke about impermanence, emptiness of self, non-attachment, and liberation. Calm dignity was restored.
The Mallas lit torches. Sounds of chanting echoed impressively in the dark night as everyone placed his full awareness on the words in the sutras. After a lengthy recitation, Venerable Anuruddha gave a Dharma talk. He praised the Buddha's attainments, his wisdom, compassion, virtue, concentration, joy, and equanimity. When Venerable Anuruddha finished speaking, Venerable Ananda recounted beautiful episodes from the Buddha's life. Throughout the night, the two venerables took turns speaking. The 500 bhikkhus and 300 lay disciples listened quietly. As torches burned down, new ones were lit to take their places until dawn broke. Let us sit 5 minutes in meditation, reflecting on the story of the Buddha. This is the time in our service when we do chanting of Buddha's name in Korean tradition. Suga, Mundur, S-O-G-A, Suga.
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 M-U-N-I, Muni.
Muni.
B-U-L-U.
Bull.
So it translated means sage of the Shakya clan. So we chant in appreciation and gratitude for whatever we received from this tradition, these practices. Not only, and also the fact that we also all have good nature. So they don't be honest to that within themselves. And as we chant, we'll be making offerings of these snow flowers, which are very symbolic, I think, because, even when it snows, they're blooming. So it's a flower which blooms in the poorest of conditions, and is simply beautiful. And that can also be our situation. We have the spunkiness to be able to be in difficult situations and come out well. Especially with a little help from some friends, a little help from the So we'll come up, and people on this side come up and receive one of these snow flowers from Jagua, and the other side will be from Higher. And then come up, and there are some small jars here in front of you. Just make an offering. And then if you're on this side, go around, we'll be chanting, and come back here on the board. This side, like that. Okay?
Good.
Right. All right, so I'll get these. Relationship I was noticing passing book here. Relationship. Everything is about that. Like how we are with motor trucks and cookies and other people. So, could you start us out, please, tomorrow on this side, and then Sugamuni goes.
As we bring our Parinirvana service to a close, we have some special words. First, from the founder of our organization, the Buddhist Society for Compassionate Wisdom, Venerable Sun Soon. And he wrote for us, please repeat after me. The Buddha was born under a tree.
The Buddha was born under a tree.
He attained enlightenment under a tree.
He attained enlightenment under a tree.
He died between two solid trees.
He died between two solid trees.
Let us go forth.
Let us go forth
and contemplate
and
cherish
cherish
the Buddhas
the
and our deep relationship
and our deep relationship
to the natural world.
to the natural world.
Bodhisvaha.
Bodhisvaha.
Let peace and happiness prevail.
Let peace and happiness prevail.
Let love and wisdom flourish.
Let love and wisdom flourish.
Let the teachings of Buddhas and Bodhisattvas spread.
Let the teachings of Buddhas and Bodhisattvas spread.
All beings, one body.
All beings, one body.
I vow to liberate.
I vow to liberate.
Blind passions, one root.
Blind passions, one root.
I vow to terminate.
I vow to terminate.
Dharma gates, one mind.
Dharma gates, one mind.
I vow to penetrate.
I vow to penetrate.
The great way of Buddha.
The great way of Buddha.
I vow to realize.
I vow to realize.
Gate, gate, paragate.
Gate, gate, paragate.
Parasamgate.
Parasamgate.
Bodhisvaha.
Bodhisvaha.
Gate, gate.
Gate, gate.
Paragate.
Paragate.
Parasamgate.
Parasamgate.
Bodhisvaha.
Bodhisvaha.
Gate, gate.
Gate, gate.
Paragate.
Paragate.
Parasamgate.
Parasamgate.
Bodhisvaha.
Bodhisvaha.
Hey. So, special for this service, we've had some of our members make cookies and we bought some from local stores too. And so we are going to, after we hear the announcements, to go into our foyer and eat some cookies together. I hope everyone will be able to stay and can, in the spirit that we've been developing with Malum in some of the past services, can you take your cookie and meet up with someone else with a cookie and just introduce yourself and say how this service was for you and what it meant to you in terms of your growing as a Buddha. Okay?
Hey, hey.
Yeah, this is always you call and respond. Hey.
Hey.
Okay.
Who's doing the
Okay,
announcements?
yeah. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
And, welcome, and we have some new people here today, so welcome to all of you that came here for the first time. And if any of you have questions about anything about Zen or about the service today, feel free to ask any of us that are wearing the gray, and we will try to answer your questions. And if you're interested in receiving our weekly email bulletin, please let us know, give us your email, and we'll put you on our mailing list to send you an email every Wednesday about what's coming up in the coming weeks at the temple. So I'll just mention a few things coming up. Starting next Sunday afternoon is our winter practice period, which runs for 6 weeks, and it's on the subject of the life of the Buddha. And so it's a combination of home-based practice, where you decide what kind of home-based practice that you would like to do. And also we'll be studying the book together, and the book we've chosen is A Zen Life of the Buddha by author and storyteller Rafe Martin. And so that will start next Sunday. It'll be at 2 p.m. It'll be both in person and also online, and it'll go for about an hour and 15 minutes. And so there's a sign-up sheet on the table in the entrance hall if you're interested in attending that. We also have a one-day meditation retreat coming up the Saturday after that, Saturday, March 18th. That will run from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. And the one-day meditation retreat consists of periods of sitting meditation, walking meditation, work practice, and a vegetarian lunch. So there's a sign-up sheet if you're interested in that. From time to time, we offer an introductory meditation class, and that class runs for 5 consecutive Thursday evenings from 6:30 to 8 o'clock p.m. In that class, you learn about postures for meditation. You learn a lot of the basics of Zen practice, not just meditation, but the other things that we do here at the temple. So that begins on March 23rd. It's 5 Thursday evenings, and there's a sign-up sheet for that. If it works better for your schedule to participate in the introductory meditation class as one session instead of 5 Thursdays, we do offer an overnight version of that same class, and that will go on March 24th to 25th, so Friday, 7 p.m. until Saturday noon, and there's a separate sign-up sheet for that. Groups meeting today, Recovery Dharma.
Recovery Dharma will be meeting at noon at the Old Temple, the yellow house next door. It goes from noon to 1, and we have one on Thursday evening, and the link is available at the temple's webpage.
Okay, other groups meeting. Okay.
I know the Mindful Transition Group is meeting this afternoon by Zoom at 4, I think. So if anybody's interested in that group, we can give you the link for it.
Yeah, please let us know if you're interested in the Mindful Transitions group meeting at 4 p.m. today on Zoom, and we'll give you the link. And the temple is supported entirely by your kind donations of time and money. There's a fishbowl right outside the door if you wish to make a monetary donation. If you'd like to volunteer your time, now that the weather is starting to get nicer, there's a lot of opportunities to work in the garden, particularly on Saturday afternoons. We get a work crew together. Let us know if you're interested in volunteering in any other way, and we can connect you with those opportunities.
Can I speak to that?
Sure.
Yeah. This year, we hope to make our garden a kind of destination point for people making pilgrimages in Ann Arbor, whatever that might look like. We will have a lot of vegetables and flowers and native plants, and we would like to have everyone in the Sangha who's interested to join in the process of making this a place of beauty for the city of Ann Arbor and beyond. So on the sign-up sheets, I just put a little garden volunteers section. So you could just sign up there, and we'll be in touch. Not only will there be days like right after the morning service. But there will be Saturday afternoon as Lagavulin. And then we find that we just have people that show up when they can show up. Joe has been one of those people in the past. So if you're interested, please would you put your name down. It doesn't seem exactly like spring these days, but, well, the snowdrops are no. You'd be most welcome to join us. And Brother Papu is kindly offered to be part of the team to coordinate the transformation of our gardens. So join us.
Coming from a Roman Catholic tradition, I used to think of Parinirvana Day as being similar to Good Friday in that we commemorate the passing of our founder. And then in later years, I learned it also has some aspects of Easter because, as Haji mentioned, we have cookies. So, please join us for some cookies. Thank you.
And remember, please, as you're eating, touch base with some others. Are you new? Have you been here before? How was the service for you? Or whatever, just to have a little exchange as we promote Sangha and deep friendship. Okay, please stand. For you with the cookies.
Yeah.
Cookies! Yes, they are. And you might notice when you're leaving, is that there's this little bird and a little rabbit made by some of the children in our Zen Families program. And there's a story called The Cat Who Went to Heaven. I don't know if you've ever heard of it. It's about an artist who was asked by the temple nearby to paint the scene of the Parinirvana. And he was asked to make it with animals all around, because it said that, metaphorically speaking, beside all those people that were there were all kinds of different beings and spirits. And so in the story, The Cat Who Went to Heaven, there was a cat that was with the artist, and the cat noticed that the artist was putting every other animal in the big picture. We did a play of this at one of our peace camps, but a cat. And so the cat began to make itself known. I need to be in the picture with the Buddhist Parinirvana too. And so eventually the artist painted the cat in the middle. So when we do the Parinirvana service, we also recognize that it's not about us solely, human beings, it's about all beings, everyone. Can we do our 3 vows yet?
No.
So it's really easy to just get them over with, but no. And as you leave, please enjoy the beauty of the altar. Know that you're always welcome to bring flowers. I know there were some eggs that somebody brought today, but I'm not sure where they are. They're there, yeah. We always appreciate in the temple kitchen, and everyone appreciates flowers here.
So we ask a little assistance as we depart. The mats and cushion touching the carpet remain. On this side of the room, the mats and cushions go on the stage. On the other side of the room, the mats go in the far corner by the slate, the marble table, and the cushions on the shelves.